For the course Applied Thermodynamics. Today we will continue with the steam condensers and we'll see the introductory part and classification of steam condenser. Myself Sumit Bardia, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Yatra. Today we will see the following points like introduction to steam condensers, functions of a condenser, elements of a condensing plant, classification of condenser in that jet condensers and surface condensers. In thermal power plants, condensers are used to condense the exhaust steam from a steam turbine to obtain maximum efficiency and also to convert the turbine exhaust steam into pure water so that it may be reused in the steam generator as feed water. A condenser is a device in which vapor condenses to liquid phase at saturation temperature and constant pressure. During condensation, the working substance changes its phase from vapor to liquid and rejects latent heat. A steam condenser is a device or an appliance in which steam condenses and heat released by steam is absorbed by water. It serves the following purposes like it maintains a very low back pressure on the exhaust side of the piston of the steam engine or turbine. The steam expands to a greater extent which results in an increase in available heat energy for converting into mechanical work. Now here the figure shows the shaded area. The shaded area shows the increase in work obtained by fitting a condenser to a non-condensing engine. The thermal efficiency of a condensing unit therefore is higher than that of non-condensing unit for the same available steam. Also it supplies to the boiler pure and hot feed water as the condensed steam which is discharged from the condenser and collected in a hot well can be used as feed water for the boiler. Now this slide shows about the functions of condensers. Now in a steam power plant, condenser plays a very important role. The main functions of steam condensers are: first, that is, condensers lowers the back pressure at turbine exhaust. Thus steam expands through a higher pressure ratio across the turbine. It results into increased work done per cycle, improved thermal efficiency of the cycle, and of course reduced steam consumption. Second function is the condenser enables the recovery and recirculation of pure feed water into the plant. Thus the cost of water softening plant is reduced. It also saves the cost of fresh water to be supplied to the boiler. Now the last function is the condenser enables the removal of air and non-condensable gases from the steam. Thus the heat transfer rate is improved and tube corrosion is reduced due to this all functions. Okay, so these are the functions of condensers which satisfies the steam power plant. Now the next is the elements of the condensing plant. A condenser unit consists of condenser, air extraction pump, condensation cooling water circulating pump, condensation extraction pump, and a cooling tower. So these are the elements of condensing plants. So what are the function of each and every element? So condenser, it condenses the exhaust steam from the turbine with the help of circulating water. Condensation extraction pump, it extracts the condensate from the bottom of the condenser and supplies it to the hot well. The feed water from the hot well is further pumped to the boiler. Air extraction pump, it removes the air and non-condensable gases from the condenser. Circulating pump, it takes in the water from the sump of the cooling tower and circulates it through the condenser tubes. The last element is cooling tower. A hot water coming out of the condenser is sprayed from a certain height. A small quantity of water evaporates in air and the remaining water is cooled in the cooling tower. This cooled water is again recirculated into the condenser. So these are the elements of condensing plants. These elements runs efficiently for increasing the life of the condensing plant. Now next is the classification of condensers. So there are mainly two types of condensers are available, that is jet condensers and surface condensers. Now in jet condenser, the exhaust steam and water come in direct contact with each other and temperature of condensate is the same as that of cooling water leaving the condenser. The cooling water is usually sprayed into the exhaust steam to cause rapid condensation. Now in surface condensers, the exhaust steam and water do not come into direct contact. The steam passes over the outer surface of tubes through which a supply of cooling water is maintained. There may be a single pass or double pass type. In single pass condensers, the water flows in one direction only through all the tubes, while in two pass condensers, the water flows in one direction through the tubes and returns through the remainder. A jet condenser is simpler and cheaper than a surface condenser. It should be installed when the cooling water is cheaply and easily made available for boiler feed or when a cheap source of boiler and feed water is available. A surface condenser is most commonly used because the condensate obtained is not thrown as a waste but returned to the boiler. Now again, these jet condensers are classified as parallel flow type, counter flow type and ejector flow type. Parallel flow and counter flow condensers are further subdivided into low level type and high level type. In parallel flow condenser, both the exhaust steam and cooling water find their entry at the top of the condenser and then flow downwards, and condensate and water are finally collected at the bottom. But in counter flow type, the steam and cooling water enter the condenser from opposite direction. Generally, the exhaust steam travels in upward direction and meet the cooling water which flows downwards. So we'll see one by one how it works. Now in jet condenser, first one is parallel flow type. Here the figure shown a line sketch of a low level parallel flow condenser. Now exhaust steam is entering the condenser from the top and cold water is being sprayed on its way. The baffle plate provided in it ensures the proper mixing of the steam and cooling water. An extraction pump at the bottom discharges the condensate to the hot well, from where it may be fed to the boiler if the cooling water being used is free from impurities. A separate dry pump may be incorporated to maintain proper vacuum. Okay. Now next is low level counterflow condenser. Now here in figure L, here this is L, M, N are the perforated trays which break up water into jets. The steam moving upwards comes in contact with water and get condensed. The condensate and water mixture is sent to the hot well here, and the air is removed by an air suction pump provided at the top of the condenser here. Now in counterflow, high level counterflow type condenser is also there. So in this figure, it is also called as barometric condenser. In this case, the shell is placed at a height above 10 meters above the hot well. From here 10 meters shell is placed, and thus the necessity of providing an extraction pump can be eliminated. However, the provision of own injection pump here has to be made if water under pressure is not available. Okay, so that is the changes in the high level condenser. Here we are not using an extraction pump. Now third type is ejector type. Now here figure shows about the schematic sketch of an ejector condenser. Here the exhaust steam and cooling water mixture in hollow truncated cones. The cold water having a head of about 6 meters flow down through the number of cones. These are the cones, hollow truncated cones, and as it moves, its velocity increases and drop in pressure results. Due to this decreased pressure, exhaust steam along with associated air is drawn through the truncated cones and finally lead towards diverging cone. Now in a diverging cone, a portion of kinetic energy gets converted into pressure energy, which is more than the atmospheric, so that condensate consisting of condensed steam, cooling water and air is discharged into the hot well. The exhaust steam inlet is provided with a non-return valve, which does not allow the water from hot well to rush back to the engine in case of failure of cooling water supply to condenser. Okay, so that is about the ejector type jet condenser. Now next category is the surface condensers. Now in that surface condensers again categorized into downflow, central flow, inverted flow, regenerative and evaporative. We will see one by one. Now here the figure shown about a downflow type of surface condenser. It consists of a shell. This is total shell, which is generally of cylindrical shape. Though other types are also used, but we are using this type cylindrical shape as an efficient one. It has a cover plates at the ends and furnished with number of parallel brass tubes. A baffle plate here partitions the water box into two sections. The cooling water enters the shell here at the lower half section, and after traveling through the upper half section comes out through the outlet. The exhaust steam entering the shell from the top flows down over the tubes and get condensed and is finally removed by extraction pump at the bottom. Due to the fact that steam flows in the direction right angle to the direction of flow of water, it is also called cross surface condenser. Okay. Now next type is central flow type. Now in this type of condenser, the suction pipe of air extraction pump is located at the center of the tubes, which results in radial flow of the steam. The better contact between the outer surface of the tube and steam is ensured due to the large passages. The pressure drop of steam is reduced. Okay, so that is central flow type. Now next type is inverted flow type. Now in the inverted flow type, the condenser has the air suction at the top. The steam after entering at the bottom rises up and then again flows down to the bottom of the condenser by following a path near the outer surface of the condenser. The condenser and extraction pump is at the bottom. So that is inverted flow type. Next is regenerative. In the regenerative type, condenser adopting a regenerative method of heating of the condensate. After leaving the tube nest, the condensate is passed through the entering exhaust steam from the steam engine or turbine, thus raising the temperature of the condensate for use as feed water for the boiler. Okay, and the last type is evaporative type. Now the figure shows the schematic sketch of an evaporative type condenser. The principle of this condenser is that when a limited quantity of water is available, its quantity needed to condense the steam can be reduced by causing the circulating water to evaporate under a small partial pressure. The exhaust steam enters at the top here, steam inlet, through the top through a gilled pipes. The water pump sprays water, here this water sprays water on the pipes and descending water condenses the steam. The water which not evaporated falls into the open tank under the condenser, from which it can be drawn by circulating water pump and used over again. The evaporative condenser is placed in open air and find its application in small size plants. Okay, so that is about the classification of the condensers. We will continue with the same chapter, same point in the next lecture. Thank you.